Hi, the purpose of this video will be to just lay out instruction for the maintenance of the UMC school pages within the 2019 UMC.org site. So we're going to begin with a brief tour of the UMC school pages. Each of the pages will share a majority of components. There will be a few unique elements on the subpages though. So beginning, all of the pages will include this main navigation bar for UMC schools, or sub-navigation rather, the carousel at the top, promo cards. Those will be the universal elements across all of these various page types. Now, once you click into the subpages or the various sorted schools, you'll see the promo cards beneath this three-column layout, which is each of those individual pieces are called promo cards. You'll see a listing of schools that also apply to this filter, colleges and universities, but these are the unpaid listings. This is very simple to maintain, but due to the fact that there are a couple of ways we could have done this. One was to create a piece of content for each of these schools. That seemed unwieldy and a little bit excessive to me, so I'll show you the alternative method we use. So back to the UMC schools page. What we're going to do is we're going to log into Sitecore. And to get to Sitecore, what we're going to do is HTTPS, because this is a secure location. If you forget the S, you're going to get a message that says you do not have permission to view this page. admin.umc.org/Sitecore/login. Okay. Then you'll be greeted with your Sitecore login. If you don't have credentials, reach out to our ministries and we'll be glad to provide credentials with the appropriate set of permissions to maintain these pages. Additionally, it's worth noting several pieces of information that will be relayed through this training module. It's important that whomever decides to maintain these pages also goes through just the general Sitecore training, just the overview. I'm not gonna get into the details of every aspect of Sitecore here, because it would be redundant, and ultimately anybody working in Sitecore would benefit from just the general training. All right, so once you've logged into Sitecore, you'll be greeted with a page called the Launchpad, and here you have access to all of the various applications within Sitecore that are also within your permission set. Most content editors will not have access to this many applications. You will, at least the key pieces that we'll be looking at: content editor, experience editor, and the desktop. So here we're going to navigate back to we're going to navigate to the content editor first. And this looks a little bit intimidating, but the thing to keep in mind is it's actually not dissimilar to Microsoft Word in a lot of aspects. This ribbon across the top is very similar to the ribbon within Word. You have tabbed content, and within each tab you have various functions to apply to the content and the component, just based on your selection. For most of what we'll be doing, you're going to be within the Publish tab. So moving on to this left-hand column, this is called the file tree, and this is where you're going to access all the various pages and components that exist within Sitecore and then to content. If you look down, you'll see UMC is a primary directory underneath content. We're going to expand the lowercase home. That's how you know you're in the right place. UMC, lowercase home, and then these are all the top level pages on the UMC site. Now, schools does not appear within the main navigation, but this directory has been set up at this level beneath home. If you expand that caret beneath schools, you're going to see several items kind of spill out. So the first item is called the page content folder, and this page content includes all of the various pieces that make up the school's page. I'm going to navigate back to the page, the schools page, and show you what I mean. And here we have the campaign navigation. This is not necessarily a component, but we'll cover that a little bit more. This is a carousel, and these are promo cards, and you're going to see several promo cards. Every card appearing on this page will have a component on the back end. Now, it's important to note when you go back to the content editor and you're looking through this file tree, not every component within this page content folder is being displayed on the page. These are bench warming pieces of data. That means that you can create as many of these component data sets as you like. That does not mean they'll be displayed. They have to be associated with the content. Now, so it's a two-step process. One is creating the content. And the second is hooking the content onto the page. So what I'm going to do is we'll go to the user display, and here we have the campaign navigation. Now, this is one of the more complicated pieces to maintain, and hopefully it will also be one of the rarest to edit. But if we go to within the UMC folder, I'm going to close up schools for now, and then we'll come back to that. So we go to UMC, and on the same level as home, we're going to see shared content. Now this shared content, this folder, these are different assets that are leveraged in various places across UMC. What we're looking for is the campaign navigation. If we expand campaign navigation, we will see different navigation items that were created for different pages or types of pages. The benefit here is, say we create another set of pages similar to schools that are all related, but it's a different implementation. Well, we can create a unique campaign navigation here. So we're going to go back to the content editor. And instead of showing you how to create campaign navigation, I'm simply going to show you how to manage this one. So within that campaign navigations, UMC Schools, you can remove or create new links. Again, this is covered more in depth in the specific campaign navigation component, but just know that if you need to edit the name of any of these links, you just click on the component, or this is the navigation item, give it 5 or 10 seconds and it will populate over here to the right, and several of the editable fields will appear here. This is purely a link, so the only editable field is this navigation link item. You can edit this item by clicking Insert Link, and then here you'll get another instance of the Sitecore file tree, and you can select the page that you would like to link. Here, colleges and universities is the link we wanted. The description is the text that displays within the navigation. And that's how you maintain. That's how you're going to maintain the school's navigation. Okay, so take a deep breath. That's the most complicated part of the page. So first, I'm going to show you how to maintain the existing components on the page, and then I'll show you how to create a new school if that were necessary. So here we're going to scroll up to the top, and I'll show you how to deal with the navigation. And actually, we're going to take a segue, and I'll show you how to calibrate this carousel. So if we go back to the content editor, we're going to go to Schools, and we're going to highlight the Schools page. Now, the carousel is located directly within this Schools page template because it's a page template that supports that carousel. I'm going to scroll down. The element that controls this is called the Slideshow images. And these are the 3 images that represent the 3 ads in that header area. To implement a new one, first you would need to upload an item to the media library. Inside this UMC media folder, you would right-click, insert, upload file. You would upload that file here, save it, and publish the item. And that would make it available on the content editor. So when you go back over here to the content editor, then when you come back down to the slideshow title, tap enter, you'll see very faintly this little thinking. And these are all of the other files that have ash in them. This file's already been selected, so it's not going to appear in the results. So, but these are all of the various items in the media library that would be available to put in the carousel. So we've covered the navigation and the carousel, and now we're going to get into the promo card, which this is the more complicated. Aside from the campaign navigation, this is a little more complicated. What we're going to do is we're going to navigate to. So we're going to close up this campaign navigation, go back up to the schools page, expand it, and here if we expand this page content, here are all the components that we talked about before. Remember, these data sets, just because they're within this folder, that doesn't mean that they're on the page. That'll be important when we're creating a new data set. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to promo card Asbury. And if we look on the front side, this first school is called Asbury Theological Seminary. So we have titled, when you create a new promo card, you'll title it something that is easily searchable. Promo card Asbury, and here you are going to display a page that represents the content for this particular promo card. Now, this is where it's a little bit confusing. We'll loop back to the promo card, but in order to have a piece of content to display there, we have to go back up to the content folder. We're going to right-click, insert, and all of these pages are external article pages. So instead of creating a new one, I'm going to navigate to this Asbury page. So the promo card, this is where it gets confusing. This promo card is not the page. It is a method for pulling content from a page that was created, or an external link. So we go back to the content editor, and we're going to click Content. The file tree, even though it has a search menu above it, it's not ideal for searching for individual pieces of content. That's better done by selecting the folder that you know contains what you're looking for, and then moving over to the field on the right. Once the search box populates, we're going to search for, and I'm going to use quick, I'm going to type title, colon, and that will create a filter. Okay, and here, all of the schools are going to have this green arrow, and that's because they're set up as an external link. The reason they're set up that way is to allow us to have this button at the bottom that links to the school. So when you click that link, it goes to asburyseminary.edu. Okay? So we're going to click on this UMC Schools Asbury, and in addition to our search, it's going to pull up a new tab. And here we can alter all of the different fields. Title, which displays as the title here. The summary text, which is the text appearing within the body of the promo card here. And then lastly, we can also select the preview image, which is that thumbnail, and then the link for the button. Oh, let me find that. Oh. Okay, so once we've populated the images, we're going to come down to this external redirect bar, and you're going to see a redirect link. Now, we're going to insert an external link, and you just paste it here in the URL. The link description can be learn more, or discover Asbury, or whatever is appropriate. It doesn't have to be a URL. So we'll close that. Just remember, every time you make a change, to save and publish the item, because if it's not published, the change will not populate. So, in order to, this is how we access the existing promo cards. In order to create a new one, we'll go back to Content and right-click. Insert external article page. And instead of accessing an existing page, this will give us a blank slate where we can create the URL here, the title of the card here, the summary, and then the external link down in the link. So that's how you manage these promo cards. Now, the last component on the school's pages, the home page doesn't feature the final component, but if we go to colleges and universities, or any of the other subpages and scroll down, we will see this listing of schools. Right now it's called Other Respected Institutions. That can be altered if that's not desirable. we have the listing of schools in 3 columns, and that's edited. If we go back to content editor, we close up this page content folder because that belongs to schools, but we're going to expand colleges and universities and its page content folder. So we have several of these components. One thing that is confusing, and I'll go ahead and retitle this now. Just remember the name of the component, something that is easy for you to remember what it is. So this is a school's subpromo listing. The thing I would say, other respected, is not this text field. It is actually this header, other respected institutions. If you wanted to update that terminology, that's where you would make the change to. So that's this starred other respected. You would just change the title in this component. So, all right. So here we're looking at the colleges and institutions, and we're going to expand the page content again. And we're looking for the sub-promo school sub-promo listing. And here, I'm going to open up this editor, and here you'll see the listing of all these various schools. And you can edit them in line and update them, and that's how those are edited. There are other aspects to maintaining these pages, but they're best reserved for other training modules. If you would like to take a more hands-on approach to editing these pages, there is an aspect of Sitecore called Experience Editor, and you can make changes in a more dynamic method. Similarly, the sub-page content, this is the main page, so it's not going to show you there. But if we go to colleges and universities, you'll see that this sub-promo content area is down at the bottom. The benefit of Experience Editor on that particular field is that you can click on it and edit those fields directly. But again, schools.umc.org, Sitecore.umc.org offers documented training for all of these different components and methods. Thanks very much.